Let's start in child's pose. Or your version of elbows and knees. And if you do need to keep the hips lifted, then bring the knees right under the hips so you're not putting too much pressure on the inner knee. And if you have that rolled blanket under the ankles, make sure it's supporting right at the ankle where the top of the foot meets the leg. So either elbows and knees with the crown of the head hanging down, or big toes together, knees wide, sit the hips back, child's pose, forehead down on something. We don't often start upside down like this, so we won't stay for too long, but notice the sensations of the breath. Allow your body to soften a little bit, whatever that means to you right now. Use your exhales to let your weight surrender to the floor. Today we're working on forward folds, forward bends. Here's our first one. And there's a sort of symbolic metaphor about folding forward as a surrender sort of motion or a reverence motion. So here, allow yourself to not just surrender down to the floor, but bow towards your own effort, even just the effort of showing up. We'll take our 3 breaths together. When you're ready, let your exhale be deep and complete. Then inhale through the nose. Exhale, open mouth, sigh. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. Inhale, nose. And exhale, let it go. Breathe in and out through the nose. And when you're ready, come to a tabletop, hands and knees. Bring the knees right under the hips if they moved. Now we're going to do a pose I don't teach very often called rabbit pose. So rabbit pose is interesting. You're going to keep the hips over the knees, but you're going to try to bring the crown of the head down onto the floor between the hands. So the very, very top of the crown, tuck the chin in so it's almost like you're coming to the back of the crown, towards the back of the head. You really want to be right on the center of the head and a little bit further back. Now, if you're feeling a lot of pressure on the neck, really press the hands down and lift the shoulders up. Get light on the crown of the head, and then use the legs to move the hips without actually moving them. You're stretching them back behind you so that the low back is getting a little longer. Now, if you're still feeling uncomfortable, you can come to the front crown of the head and take out some of the pressure on the neck. If you're feeling okay, maybe get light on the right hand and reach the right hand towards the right ankle. So you're reaching it back towards the back foot. Same thing on the left. If you want, you can lift the left hand and reach it towards the ankle. Now you're in this little compressed, I don't know why they call it a rabbit, but rabbit pose. Wherever you are, bring the shoulders away from the ears. Take a slow breath in, move the hips up towards the ceiling. Slow breath out. One more time, inhale, bring the hips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, shoulders away from the ears. If you lifted the hands, bring the hands back down to frame the head and then press into the hands and lift yourself back up to a table. Okay, hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. Inhale to arch through the spine, look forwards. Exhale, round, chin to chest. Take some cat-cows here. Now that we put a little bit of weight on the head, notice any different sensations than you're used to in this cat-cow. We do this almost every class so that you can notice the difference day to day. And after your next exhale, come back to a neutral spine. We're going to lower down onto our bellies. If you have the blanket under the knees, make sure the blanket is under the hip, the bony parts of the hip at the front. And when you're on your belly, just let the arms rest at your sides and bring the right ear down. We've just been compressing and sort of folding forwards. Now we can't fold forwards because we're lying on our bellies. So let the whole front of the body expand on the floor. Turn the head the other way, bring the other ear down. Okay, and now reach the arms forwards like you're Superman. And bring either the nose to float on the floor or the forehead if that feels okay. Exhale here, pressing the hips down. And as you inhale, lift the right arm and the left leg. And then exhale, lower them back down. Inhale, other side. Left arm, right leg. And exhale, lower. Press the hips down. Again, inhale, left leg, right arm. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale, lower. Take one more round. And as you lower them down, can you reach them forwards, trying to reach them away from the torso? Exhaling here, press the hips down, press the tops of the thighs down so the low back is getting long. And as you inhale, lift everything up. Lift the arms, lift the feet, reach forwards, look down towards the floor. As you exhale, lower down and move the hands back towards the low ribs, elbows up towards the ceiling like we're going to take baby cobra, which guess what? Yep, that's what we're going to do. Elbows up, shoulders back, press the hands down, press the thighs down. Now this time, keep the feet down, but lift the knees. So you're lifting the kneecaps and the kneecaps float off the floor. Legs are strong, thighs press down. Inhale, lift the chest. Now, today we're working on forward folds, but in each forward fold, we're still doing a little bit of a back bend. So here we're getting that long spine, especially in the upper back. Let the upper back move forwards through the chest, move the shoulders back. Inhale. And exhale, lower down. Okay, bring the right ear down, relax the arms. Bring the left ear down. One more pose for the upper back while we're here. Come onto your elbows. Elbows forwards, and then bring the feet as wide as the mat. And then turn the legs out, external rotation of the hips, so that you can bring the inner foot down to the floor. Now you can walk the elbows in a little bit so that the chest lifts up even more. Doesn't matter how much. You could press the arms into the floor. And now that the hips are open, can you still press the hips down towards the floor? Pressing the thighs down so the low back is long. either stay here or creep the elbows forwards on the floor. And then maybe elbows wider. Can you bring the head into the hands like you're at a fun sleepover with your friends? Elbows reaching forwards. Crocodile. Now, same thing here. Can you imagine the upper back moving forwards through the chest? The arms inject into the shoulder sockets so that the shoulders move back, but the spine moves forwards through the chest. Slow breath. Relax the arms. Come down onto your belly. Bring the legs back to center. Child's pose or elbows and knees. Bring the knees down to the floor. Reach the crown of the head. Let's all come to puppy dog. So with the knees under the hips, the feet straight back, lift the hips over the knees, and then reach the crown of the head towards the floor, lifting the hips up, lengthening the chest. Now here it's easier to get the thoracic spine down. So can you keep the low ribs moving in and focus on the upper spine? Can you move the shoulder blades down towards the floor? And then gently come out, coming back to your elbows and then pressing up to hands and knees. Forward fold at the back of the mat. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, and walk the hands back to the feet. So our first traditional forward fold here. So feel free to bend the knees and make this a little bit softer. Head and neck heavy. Arms weighting you down like a counterweight. The counterweight is for the hips. So as the elbows move down, the hips move up. Shift your weight side to side. Figure out where you are centered on the feet so that you can press evenly down through all corners of the feet. Then bring the hands to the hips, elbows up, and inhale, come all the way up to stand. Tadasana. Legs strong, arms reach down. Lift the chest. Move the weight into the heels. And exhale here. Let's build a little bit of heat with some sun salutations. As you inhale, reach the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Can you keep that upper back curve? Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to stand, reach the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana, lower the arms. Fire up the legs, lift the kneecaps, reach the arms down. Then inhale, reach the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, keep the length in the spine as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift, head is last. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale again, rise up, reach up, look up, take your time. Hi, Ben. And exhale, lower the arms, Tadasana. Fire up the legs, press down through all four corners of the feet, lift the kneecaps, reach the arms down, weight in the heels will add on this time. Inhale, reach the arms, look up, lift the chest. Exhale, dive forward, let the heart lead you down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to plank, walk the hands or step the feet back. From plank, you can always bring the knees down. Look forwards. And as you look forwards, the center between the shoulder blades moves down towards the floor and forwards towards where you're looking. Inhale. Exhale, lower down onto your belly. Inhale, baby back bend, Bhujangasana. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Anything in between. If you're in down dog, feel free to pedal out the feet. Don't hold the breath. Take one more breath here. As you inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Exhale, bring the feet to the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Again, head is the last thing to lower. Inhale, rise up, reach up, look up. Exhale, lower just the arms, Tadasana. One more time. Inhale, arms lift up, strong legs. Exhale, fold. Head is the last thing to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank and lower down. One breath. Inhale, flip the feet and take a back bend, strong legs. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Hips up and back. And again, just like in Uttanasana, when we were holding the elbows reach down towards the hands, the hips reach up towards that back corner of your ceiling. Actively flex the feet so that the heels come a little closer. Stretch out the backs of the legs. Move the weight into the feet by pressing into the inner hand. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. And let the upper back do the work. So let the upper back move towards the floor, but don't let the low ribs cave down. Let the low ribs move to the back body. Slow breath. One big breath here. Inhale, both feet forwards. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, look up. Exhale, lower just the arms, Tadasana. Bend the knees. Inhale, chair pose. Any arm variation is fine. Hips low to the floor. Now, reach the arms back behind you like you're an airplane hovering the arms off the floor. Shoulders back, reach the hands, palms down, and lift the heels. Tip yourself forwards. Hover off of the heels. Sink the hips a little lower. As you exhale, forward fold. Heels come down, hips lift up, head goes down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, vinyasa. Plant the hands and step back to plank, lower down. Inhale, flip the feet, take a back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog or tabletop, inhale, lift the right leg up and back. Exhale, step it forwards between the hands. Back heel down on an angle, warrior one setup, bend into the right knee, look forwards, and inhale, lift yourself up, warrior one. We're not staying too long, bend into the front knee, press the left heel down. Exhale, bring the hands down and step back to plank. You can go through your little vinyasa, lowering and taking a back bend, or you could just press yourself back to downward facing dog. Pick what you need today. From down dog or table, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it forwards between the hands. Back heel down on an angle. Bend into the left knee, look forwards for balance. Inhale, lift up. The legs do all the work here. Bend into the front knee, press the back heel down, lift the chest. Move the arms maybe 1 inch back. As you exhale, bring the hands down, step back to plank, meet me in downward facing dog. Maybe you go through that little vinyasa on your way. Building some heat, resetting the spine. Child's pose is fine. Now, before we finish, inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, step it forwards. We're coming back to warrior one. Back heel down, bend into the right knee. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Now keep pressing down into the outer arch of the back foot, but move the left hip forwards and the right hip back. The right leg will want to straighten as you do that. So then re-bend the right knee. Bring the low ribs back in space and lift up through the top of the sternum. Then reach the arms behind you, just like we did when we were in chair pose. Maybe you just keep reaching the arms. Maybe you clasp the hands together by the low back. Inhale, reach the arms back. And as you exhale, bring the right shoulder towards the right knee as you fold forwards. Head and neck is the last thing to fold. The hands might come away from the low back, or maybe they're just reaching back behind you. Squeeze the right hip in, the left hip forwards, bend into the right knee, then bring the hands to the hips. Inhale to lift back up, warrior one, arms reach up. Exhale, bring the hands down, meet me in downward facing dog. Back foot back. No expectations for the second side. As you inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it forwards. Back heel down on an angle. Bend into the left knee and inhale, lift yourself up. Bring the hands to the hips so you can feel where they are. Press the right heel down and then move the right hip forward as you turn the left hip back. Keep pressing into that right heel so the right leg is straight, and then re-bend into the left knee, trying to keep the hips exactly as they are. The low back moves forwards. The center of the back lifts up, and the upper back moves forwards. Reach the arms behind you. What do we do? Yeah, maybe clasp the hands, weird thumb on top. Inhale to lift the chest, and exhale, bring the shoulder down, humble warrior. Again, you can keep reaching the hands back towards the hips, towards the back foot, up towards the ceiling, doesn't matter. Don't let the legs relax here. Pull the left hip in, the right hip forwards, back leg strong, front leg bent strong. Hands come back to the hips. Inhale, warrior one, reach the arms up. Exhale, last vinyasa. Plant the hands, step back. Either lower down and go through vinyasa or just go back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Woo! As you inhale, both feet forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, look up. We'll take chair again, so bend the knees. Any arm variation here. Weight in the heels, so much so you can lift the toes off the floor. Then bring them back down, no weight in the toes. Shoulders back, low ribs lift up. Reach the arms back behind you, like an airplane. Move the weight into the big toe ball mound and lift the heels up. Hover. Squeeze the legs together. And then exhale, bring the heels down, come all the way up to stand Tadasana. Okay, Prasarita Padottanasana. So open the legs wide. Heels out, toes in. Hands to the hips to start, elbows back, shoulders back. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the kneecaps. Exhale, keep the kneecaps lifted as you fold forward. Bring the hands to the floor. Maybe you're on fingertips, maybe your hands are on blocks. Make your arms a little bit longer. And stay in concave back to start. So come to fingertips, hands right under the shoulders, and look forwards. Look forwards, look forwards, look forwards. Lift the hips up, press the heels down. Lift the hips up, press the heels down. And as you keep doing that, hips up, heels down, you might feel like your chest can come a little bit lower. Maybe you can bring your hands down to the floor. And then finally, as you exhale, walk the hands back and lower the head and neck down. Now, maybe you can bring the top of the head to the floor. It's okay if you widen your stance to get there. Can you bring the back crown of the head towards the back of the head towards the floor? Kneecaps lift, hips up, heels down, hips up, heels down. Bring the hands back forwards under the shoulders, concave back. Press the right hand down into the floor and then inhale, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling, take a twist. Notice if you're doing this work in the legs, lean into it. So lean towards that left leg, open up through the shoulders, and then try to bring the left hip down, the right hip up, re-squaring the hips. As you exhale, bring the left hand forwards and down. Other side. Left hand down, inhale, right arm lifts, shift into the hips, lean your weight into the right foot. Lift through that top chest, reaching the arm up, and then square the hips forwards. Head back slightly. As you exhale, bring the hand down. Bring the feet a little closer together. And then hands to the hips, elbows up. Inhale, come all the way back up to stand with a flat back. Nice. Okay, bring the feet back together. And then come to a seat. As always, you can lift your hips up on a height. Take a moment with the legs straight to you can even like hold the bone of your hip here. You can move the hip back, move the thighs open so that you can spread the backs of the thighs onto the floor. And maybe to do that, you need to lean back into the hands. That's okay. Spread the backs of the thighs, spread the backs of the knees, spread the backs of the calves. You can even reach down and physically spread the backs of the calves, just like we did with the thighs. And then if you can straighten the legs so much that the heels pop up off the floor. Keep the heels down and try to bring the back of the ankle to the floor. Can you keep the back of the ankle down and the back of the knee and the back of the thigh? The answer can be no. And then if you're leaning back into your hands, come to fingertips so you're pressing the low back forwards. There are those, some of us have those like little dimples on the back of our hips. And you press those dimples forwards, the sacrum moving forwards, the low ribs moving up, and the sternum lifting. Now maybe you can plant the hands next to your hips, keeping the spine lifted up. Lift through the muscles of the spine, relax the belly, relax the face, fire up the legs, toes up towards the ceiling, Dandasana. Now, use your hands to bend the right knee up and then out towards the side. Janushirasana. If you like, you can always grab a belt so that you can reach the foot more easily. I'm going to use a sock. As you inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, tip forwards. Now you can wrap your sock or your belt around the big toe ball mound to make your arms longer and pull on the belt. If you can reach the foot, start by putting the thumbs on top of the foot. We call this the break. So everything in this pose is moving the upper body towards the foot, except for the thumbs. The thumbs here are the only thing pressing us away from the foot. So notice how that maybe feels. And then bring your thumbs to the outside of the foot with the rest of the fingers. And see if that feels any different. Can you get any more length without that break? The break is also there for some sort of sensitivity. So if you're really tight in the hamstrings, or if you have an injury in the back of the leg, it might be good to keep the thumbs there to give yourself that break. At the last breath here, let the head and neck settle towards the knee. Then inhale, look forwards, and exhale, lift the chest. Okay, help the knee up and plant the foot next to the leg. So it's about a handprint away. Bring the left hand down behind you so you have some leverage to push back. Then reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, reach the right arm inside the right knee. Press with your left hand to help you move yourself forwards. Now you can hold on to the left leg. You can hold on to the inner arch of the left foot. Or you can reach the arms forward, 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 and then thumbs up with the right hand, thumbs down with the right hand. Try to bring the right elbow in front of the shin so you could bring the right hand behind the back. If you're trying that bind, bring the left hand behind the back. It's okay if the right hip lifts up here. Eventually, what we're all trying to do is fold forwards over the left leg. Now we're inhibited by this right leg here. So can you try to bring your whole abdomen inside the right leg? Lift the right knee up towards the ceiling. Press the left leg down. This is Marichyasana A. Head and neck lowers at this last breath. Then inhale, look forward. And exhale, unwind this pretzel shape. Okay, straighten both legs. Move the flesh of the back of the thigh on the right leg back so that they're even. Notice any difference between the sides. Spread the back of the right calf, back of the right knee, back of the right thigh, calf, knee. Press the hands down to relift the chest. Move those dimples forwards. Move the back ribs up. And move the sternum up. And then use the hands, bend the left knee. Open the left knee out to the side. Janu Sirsasana A. Look towards that right foot. And as you inhale, reach the arms up. Keep the length in the spine. Exhale, tip forwards. You can use your hands. You can use a sock. You can use a belt around the right big toe ball mound, all the way to the pinky toe ball mound. And then again, if you can hold the foot, try with the break, with the thumbs on the top of the foot. Press the right leg down. Press the left knee away from you. And then try with the thumbs alongside the rest of the fingers on the side of the foot. For your last breath here, move the spine forwards through the chest. And as you exhale, lower the head and neck. Strong right leg. Inhale, halfway lift, look forwards. And exhale, lift the chest. Okay, use the hand. Bring the left knee up. Plant the left foot just about a handprint away from the right leg. Marichyasana A. You can bring the right hand behind you so that you can press into the hand and move the hips forwards again. Inhale, left arm lifts. And as you exhale, go inside the left knee, reach, reach, reach. It's okay if the left hip lifts up as you reach for that right big toe ball mound. If you can reach it, use the strength to pull yourself forwards a little bit more, and then thumbs up, thumbs down, reach the arm in front of the shin and try to reach the right arm back. Now, what happens here, especially if you have the bind, is the shoulders turn to the right. Can you move the right shoulder forwards and the left shoulder back so that you're framing over the left leg? Again, it's okay for the hip to lift. Press the long leg down. Wherever you are, fold over the long leg. Try to get the belly button to move towards the knee. For this last breath, head and neck heavy, bow towards the foot. And then inhale, look forwards. And exhale, unwind. Okay. Great. Send both legs long. Lean back into the hands and let the knees windshield wiper, let the feet windshield wiper. And then we're going to do a reverse bridge, Purvottanasana, 3 rounds. You can try this with the legs straight if you like. Otherwise, bend the knees, plant the feet on the floor, hands behind you, fingers point towards your hips. Ideally, if not, then the fingers point out towards the long edges of the mat. Move the spine forwards through the chest. Press into the heels, knees stay in, and then inhale, lift the hips, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the hips, and exhale, lower. This time we'll hold. So if your wrists are getting tired, reset the wrists a little bit. Maybe choose to move the hands to face outside. And then inhale, lift the hips. Option 1, look towards the knees. Option 2, look up towards the ceiling. Keep lifting the hips up. Option 3, lean the head back. Look behind you. As you exhale, slowly lower the hips down. The head is the last thing to move. Okay. You're going to need some space behind you for this next one. So here's what we're going to try. If you have a blanket and your spine is kind of sensitive, this is a good time to use the blanket under the spine. Let me show you what we're going to do, and then we're going to try it together. We're going to start in Dandasana, and then we're going to touch the toes, Paschimottanasana. This is number 1. Number 1, we all know how to do it. So then, as we inhale, watch first, we're going to lean back, roll back, reach the arms behind, and then lift the hips up and try to touch the feet to the fingers. So it's Paschimottanasana, but now we're on our backs. Then we're going to come forwards, lift up, and touch the toes forwards. So we're touching the toes forwards and touching the toes back. The interim is the most important part because that's how you could hurt yourself. So let me just do a little, because it's going to go a little quicker. So one more time. Paschimottanasana, exhale. Inhale, reach the arms around and back. Flip the feet up, hips up, touch. Exhale. Then lift the knees, lift the feet. Slowly lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, touch. Let's try it. The first one's always the worst one. Exhale, touch Paschimottanasana, head and neck down. Inhale, sweep the arms back, lift the hips. Exhale, touch the toes to the hands. Inhale, lift the feet up. Exhale, lower the hips. Lift the chest. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, Paschimottanasana. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, touch the toes to the hands. Inhale, lift the feet up, lift the hips up. Exhale, roll down, sit up. Inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, touch the toes. 2 more times. Exhale, touch the feet to the hands behind you. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, come to sit. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, touch. Last time on your own. Finishing in Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Whee! So fun. Head and neck forwards, legs pressed down. Hold the outside edges of the feet, and again, experiment with the thumbs. Do you want the break? Or do you want the thumbs curled around? Inhale, look forward. And exhale, lift up. Okay, two options here. One is bridge pose and one is a prep for shoulder stand. We just did a bunch of shoulder standing and plow poses, but typically it's better to do it with some blankets. So if you don't have a blanket, don't worry about it. We're just gonna do bridge pose. If you do have a blanket, stack your blankets so that they're wide, but pretty tall. And you want the knee edges of the folds away from you so that you're gonna be lying down with your head off of the blankets, and your shoulders should be on the blankets with a little bit of space above the shoulders, meaning like maybe 2 fingers of space on the blanket before the shoulders are there. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, if you don't have a blanket, don't worry about it. Just come into your bridge prep. So feet are on the floor, knees bent up. You can still try it without the blanket, just don't hold it very long. Wherever you are, we're all gonna start in bridge pose. So reach the arms up to frame the hips, tuck the shoulders underneath you, and then inhale, lift the hips up. So we were just in this shape in reverse tabletop Purvottanasana. Press the inner arches of the feet down so the knees don't splay out. And lift the hips up as you press the knees away from you and lift the sternum up towards the hips. Now maybe you can clasp the hands behind the back, tucking the shoulders underneath you even more. If you have your blankets, if you want to try, you can lower the hips so that they're sort of resting on the arms. And then Halasana, plow pose, bring the feet behind you so that you can lift the hips up a lot. You can use your hands now to bring the hands to the low back. Do not turn the head at this point. And then I have a handy dandy wall behind me because my room is small. Press the elbows down and lift one leg up, maybe both legs up. So you're holding the hips, but ideally the back. You're walking your hands down towards the shoulders. Little to no pressure in the neck. So that means you have to use the arms. This is shoulder stand, not back of the head stand. So use the arms to press down, use the elbows to press down as you lift the feet up. Now we've held for long enough. Bring the legs back down to Halasana, moving the feet behind you, just like we were rolling back. And then use the hands moving down towards the hips, down towards the thighs. Let your body roll back so that you're on your back and don't do anything. Just lie here. Sometimes that can bring up a lot of pressure into the head and neck. So allow the head and neck to relax. Slow down the breath. Notice if you are holding the breath. We'll finish with a twist. So if you're on your props, you can slowly move them out from under you, rolling to the side and moving them off to the side. Then come back onto your back, let the knees fall to the right. Arms can open to a T. And for today, try to keep the legs stacked so that the left knee is on top of the right knee, the left hip is on top of the right hip. Even if that means that the left shoulder is floating, it probably will mean that. Move the head 1 inch to the right and then bring the left ear down. Look back up towards the ceiling and inhale, bring the knees back to center. And then move the knees towards the left. Try to keep the right leg stacked on top of the left leg. Move the head 1 inch to the left and then bring the right ear down. Press the right hip away from the face so you're getting long in the side ribs. Slow breath. Look back up towards the ceiling and inhale, bring the knees back to center. Set up for your final Shavasana. Find a position that'll work for you for Shavasana. Maybe you use your blankets under the head for a pillow. Maybe use the blankets as blankets if it's getting cool in your space. Keep the elbows wide enough so that the armpits can breathe a little bit, but either hands to the belly or palms up, hands on the floor. Sigh out your next breath, release the jaw. Let your Shavasana be what it is today. Relax, release, and let go. Stay here. I'll close with a breathing practice that you can do here on your back. It's sort of an imaginary breathing practice. So you'll have to imagine what's happening without using your hands. We're going to alternate the breath between the nostrils. So again, even if you don't feel like it's really happening, can you imagine that it's happening? Let your exhale be deep and complete. Take a soft breath in. And then exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale right. And exhale left. Breathe normally. And even if you feel like nothing happened, like you didn't accomplish anything, don't worry about it. This time as we breathe, we'll do it again. Can you imagine sending the breath right between the eyebrows? And as you exhale, it starts between the eyebrows and it goes out through the nose. When you're ready, exhale. Natural inhale through the nose. Exhale, right nostril. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Breathe normally. Again, exhale deep and complete. Inhale through both. Exhale left from the center of the eyebrows down through the left. Inhale left. Exhale right from the center of the eyebrows down through the right nostril. Inhale right. Exhale left. Breathe normally. Slow, smooth exhale. Slow, smooth inhale. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Breathe normally. Relax the muscles of the face. Softly open the eyes. Bring the hands to the belly. Bend one knee at a time. And roll onto your right side, using your arm as a pillow. Stay heavy, keeping your energy, your intention folded down towards the floor. Then use your hand, help yourself to come to a seat. We did our breathing practice, so let's just close with one breath together in a comfortable seat. Lift the chest, relax the face. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank your body for working for you. Gratitude for the practice, its lineage, all its benefits. We'll close with one breath. Let your exhale be deep and complete as you lengthen through the spine. Then inhale nose. Exhale, open mouth, sigh. Thanks for coming. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I see you next week.